Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Diary of a Mind Alchemist. I don't know. I was just doing like what I usually do, having a conversation with the divine and just thinking about certain things, particularly religion and just in spirituality. And I was having this conversation with the divine about it, and I said, you know what, maybe I don't know, I felt led to record it and just see what comes out. I was talking about like how I really, and this is just my beliefs, everything on my channel is not written in stone. I really don't believe in an absolute truth. I feel like that's why we have so many different belief systems. And I feel like the divine gives us the freedom to explore and to, find what resonates with us. So, when I say things, I'm just sharing my beliefs. And I'm not saying that is the truth. It's my truth, and you might resonate with it, you might not, and that's okay. You'll never get me to get into a debate about anything, because it seems futile to me to argue over what I deem as an illusion anyway. You know what I mean? I will say what I believe to be true, but if you don't believe that, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You follow your truth and what you feel the divine is leading you towards. You know what I'm saying? So don't take anything that I say personally. If it does not resonate with you, then this just isn't the video for you, or it may not even be the channel for you, and that is perfectly fine. Find your vibe and your tribe. It's out there somewhere in YouTube land or wherever in this World Wide Web. But anyway, I was talking about the importance of having a relationship with God. Whatever name you call it, because I was just thinking about my relationship with the divine, and sometimes I get so overwhelmed with the divine's love. I can just feel its presence within me, and sometimes it is so overwhelming in a beautiful, beautiful way. And I'm like, I was just thinking that I just experienced that, in my conversation and meditations with the divine. And I was just like, you know what? This is what people are looking for. This is what people really want. When they seek things externally, they seek prestige, they seek fame, they seek wealth, they seek material gain. They seek validation, approval, all the things, love, through relationships. All of these things, we want these things for one reason, rather. And we want these things because we want to be happy. There is this void within every person. And we are constantly trying to fill this void up because it doesn't feel good. We feel like there's something missing, and that's what makes us unhappy. And then, we go after these things. whether it's a relationship and we feel good for a little bit and then it goes away, and so we want something else. We go after the money and we might achieve a certain level, and we're enjoying the fruits of our labor, but then we get used to it and now it's on to something else, and the cycle just keeps going on and on and on. And what I was realizing is that, and I've said this in a previous message, this message is kind of similar to the video, All You Need Is God. And the message is really similar to that one. And it's true. Everything that we are searching for externally can only be found in a relationship with the divine. And I know this. I know this by experience. The divine is the only one that can permanently fill up that void. Because every time you try to fill a void outside of you with the things of this world, it only satisfies you temporarily. That's why people are on this continuous chase for more, because these things that the divine created were never meant to satisfy completely. They were additions to what we were already supposed to have inside of us through a relationship with the divine. And I'm convinced that you will never be happy. Never be happy as long as you are seeking things, external things, to be happy. The only one that can completely spackle up that internal hole within your soul is God. And when I say God, I'm not a religious person. I truly believe that the divine does not care what name you consider to be the name of God. I'm just using the word God for lack of a better word, and because it's a generic term that everybody can identify with. When I say God, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Big G, G-O-D. Some people may call God, Allah. Some people may call God Jesus. Some people may call God the Most High. Some people may call God, I don't know, whatever term, that has to do with the supreme being. That's another term, that people worship and identify as the creator of all things. I don't feel as though the divine really cares. There really is, in all honesty, no term that we could ever come up with that would properly identify God. God is too great and too awesome to put a name on. Sometimes I identify God as the unnameable one. Sometimes that's what I call it, because there is no name that will suffice. We cannot even begin to understand fully the nature of the divine. The divine allows us to, have little glimpses of it through its creation. But we still, even in those glimpses, cannot fully see the full presence, the full identity of the divine. I can't put into words, and nobody else can, no matter how eloquently You may be able to speak. There is no words in any language that can ever sufficiently identify and describe the all, God, or whatever term you want to use for it. And I have been in many different belief systems, and in each belief system, I had a relationship with the divine, and I called it different things. I was a Christian at one time, and I felt the presence of the divine when I was a Christian. I called it the Holy Spirit. I called it Jesus, the Most High, Yahuwah, Yeshua. I identified the divine as those terms, and the divine did not take offense to those terms. It knew my heart, it knew where I was at the time, and it still lived in me, and it still worked through me. And so I believe that no matter what belief system, whether you're in religion or you're spiritual, it does not matter. If you know that there is a supreme being that created all things that exist, including you, and you honor that being as the divine, as being, the supreme God, the only true God of all things that exist, then no matter what you call it, whatever name you use, as long as it's, a respectful term in what you believe about it is true to its nature, that it is good and it is loving and, the highest vibration of all. I don't think the divine really cares, about the little things. So, I truly believe that is the missing piece of the puzzle to happiness, to true happiness is God. God truly is all that we need. And I've said in other videos, I am not against, having the things that this world has to offer. As I've said in other videos, it's okay to have those things, just don't let those things have you. Those things will never be able to complete you. And as long as you place your identity on those things, that you have made those things your God. And you will never truly be satisfied. Those things can be taken away from you in the blink of an eye. And if you have placed your identity on it, you pretty much are going to be in that place of emptiness again. And you pretty much already are. No matter how much you try to act like, those things are truly making you happy. That's why you got to keep going after stuff. Nobody, I don't think there's any billionaires out there that are just sitting back and be like, I finally made it. Maybe at some point they did, but I'm pretty sure if they are honest, they're going to admit that they still want more. They're still chasing after something. Because like I said, nothing in this world that the Supreme Being created was ever meant to complete us. Only the divine can complete us. And I truly believe that once we have a relationship with God, search for more will be over. The search for more will be over. We'll be okay either way, because we are connected to the source of love, true love. We're connected to the source of true happiness. We're connected to the source of true peace. We are connected to the source of true power. We're connected to the source of true healing. You know, the divine can heal you of all of those emotional wounds. It can give you what you never got from your childhood. You know, those of us that have had traumatic upbringings, it can heal you from those experiences so that you can have healthy relationships. You know, it can heal you from all of the pain and the hurt and trauma that you've experienced, you know, in life. There's so many people that are hurting in this world, and I know many of you have heard that saying that hurting people hurt people, you know, and it is so true. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you need to heal and that you are hurting. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself, taking that time to be by yourself and cry your eyes out. Get all that pain out. Get all that anger and bitterness out, whatever it is. You know, because we've all been hurt by people. And some of us have gone through very traumatic experiences, and you have to let go of that pain. You have to let go of that anger. You have to let go of that trauma. But you have to admit first that you are angry or sad or broken. Whatever you're feeling, you gotta admit it. You gotta get it out. You know, a healthy way to release it is through crying. You know, and to my men out there, it doesn't make you weak to cry. Being weak is not not being able to be vulnerable. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's trying to hide your vulnerability through this mask of strength. You know, God gave you men emotions too. If God meant for you to not cry, you wouldn't have tear ducts. Men would not have tear ducts. Why did God give you tear ducts if it wasn't meant for you to be able to cry? It's not weak to cry. It's not weak to be vulnerable. It's not weak to express your emotions. God gave you emotions too. You know, and that whole pretense that women are, you know, that we are the only ones that are supposed to express emotions and that men are supposed to be strong and stoic, and that's some bullshit, okay? I don't know who came up with that, but it wasn't God. God gave you emotions for a reason, and it's okay to express them in a healthy way, you know. And so people need to, you know, be open and honest with themselves and go through the healing process so that we can stop this cycle of hurting people. It's okay to cry. It's okay to, you know, healthily express your anger and bitterness. You got to get that stuff out in a healthy way. And then you got to process your emotions and, you know, what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, and understand that the people that hurt you did it because they weren't healed. And then you got to go through the process of forgiving and understanding that hurting people hurt people. That's why they hurt you. And then letting go of your anger and bitterness and resentment and all those negative emotions for the people who hurt you. And that's part of the healing process too. That actually is what frees you. Because as long as you hold on to those negative emotions, you are going to be in bondage. And then you're going to end up hurting people. You're going to end up attracting toxic relationships because you're unable to heal. So you're not going to be able to attract a healed person because they're not going to be want to be with you. You know? So you're going to attract more hurting people, and you're going to be in these toxic ass relationships and wonder why you can't attract nobody that, you know, that's decent, is because you ain't healed. So, you know, we need to be okay with our vulnerability. There's no weakness in it, you know, and go to the divine. The divine is there, and the divine is the source of healing. When we go to the divine, when we go to God, and we ask God to heal us with a pure and genuine heart, the divine will begin the healing process and will make us whole. Us what is love and its power. And then once we're healed, you know, then we will attract healthy friendships, relationships, etc. But I'm just kind of going all over the place here. It's not really a subject for this message. Is just pretty much whatever I feel led to say. But God is the source of all good things. And having a relationship with the divine will change your life. If you do not have a relationship with the divine, seek the divine in any way that you choose to seek it. If you feel led to seek the divine through Christianity, then so be it. If you feel led to seek a relationship with the divine through Islam, then so be it. Through Buddhism, so be it. Through I'm trying to think of all the different belief systems. There's so many. Hinduism, so be it. You know, whatever, you know, belief system you are drawn to, then go that route, because you're drawn to it for a reason. You know, we're all on this path, this journey, as explorers, you know, and I believe that the divine has placed us, like we are, like these avatars that the divine has human experiences in, and we, in each lifetime, we have different journeys and explorations to experience. we evolve, we go through different levels of experience. And, it is my personal belief, and I'm just sharing it. I'm not saying that this is the truth. This is just what resonates with me. I feel like on this journey of life that we go through these different spiritual stages, and I'm, no offense to anyone who is religious. I've been there, but I think that, that's the beginning stage. I feel like religion is kind of like preschool. It's kind of like the beginning stages, the training wheels, that we have, on our journey, in spirituality. And then once, as we evolve through lifetimes and we learn and experience more, and evolve more, those training wheels at some point come off, and we get out of religion and we get more into spirituality. But again, that's no offense to anyone who is religious. This is just what resonates with me. And if you don't agree with that, that's perfectly fine. I'm just sharing. Okay? I feel like once you get to a certain level on your spiritual journeys that you've had over lifetimes, that you get out of religion. At least I know that's been my experience, where I have gone through religion, and I've evolved out of that. But I can see, through my journey, I can see that was something that I needed at the time. I no longer need that. The divine is my spiritual barometer. I don't need a spiritual book to tell me, to show me how to live. The divine is my spiritual book that lives within me. My vessel is the Bible or the spirit, whatever spiritual book. It lives within me because the divine lives within me. But I have nothing against anyone who serves God. No matter, how you choose to serve it. If you are in a religion, that's perfectly fine. That's where you're supposed to be right now. And maybe maybe that's where you're supposed to be forever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you have a relationship with the divine. Okay? And I don't feel like the divine really cares about what you call it or how you serve it, as long as you are serving the divine in goodness and love, and that's really matters, that you're treating people the way that you want to be treated. And I feel like every belief system that is of the divine should teach that, regardless of what we agree with or believe to be true. At the end of the day, we are all creations of the divine, and we should all respect and love one another, whether or not we agree with, people or not. We can at least just identify people as being creations of the divine. And so because they are creations of the divine, we should have love for the divine's creation. So we need God in our life. I am an advocate for the divine, and having a relationship with the divine, I feel is necessary for our lives. I truly believe that having a relationship with the divine is essential in our navigating this world and just navigating this journey that we are on in this world and beyond. I feel like that is the key. And I hope that anyone that's listening to this message, if you have a relationship with the divine, that you will be steadfast in it, and that you will continuously strengthen that relationship. And if you don't, then I urge that you seek out the divine in whatever way you feel led. If you feel led to go to religion, then go that route. I feel that as long as your heart is genuine, the divine really does not care, and I feel like it will lead you in the direction that it wants you to go. So if you just take a moment in quiet and solitude and just pray and ask the divine, let the divine know that you desire a relationship with it. The true living God, the God of all gods. Okay? You want a relationship with it. And ask it to lead you in the direction that it wants you to go. And because it knows your heart, it knows whether or not you're sincere, it will lead you in the direction that it wants you to go. If it wants you to go in the direction of religion, then that's where it will lead you. If it wants you to go more into a spiritual direction, a non-religious direction, then it will lead you there. But the important thing is that you just pray and ask the divine to enter your life, to allow it to get, to allow you to get to know it and experience and feel its love and its power, that you will feel its presence within you, and that it will fill up the voids that you have in your life, and that it will help you to heal. Be open and honest with the divine about yourself. You may feel insecure about talking to other people. You may feel, insecure about going to a therapist or to share what's in the deepest recesses of your spirit, your soul, right? But the divine already knows. The divine already knows what you have experienced and what you're feeling and what you're going through. It already knows. It already knows. So all you have to do is communicate with it and share your feelings, your emotions, everything that you're experiencing. You can be open and honest with the divine without fear, and you don't have to, lay your pride aside. Be humble. The divine already knows anyway, and the divine loves you, and it wants you to heal. It wants to help you. It wants you to feel its presence and to know it. Okay? So if you are hurting, if you have unforgiveness in your heart, and you know that you gotta let go of this unforgiveness and this hatred, this grudge or whatever that you have held on for years against people or a person, or whatever negative emotions that you've been holding on to, whatever insecurities that you have about yourself, whatever it is, go to God about it. Go to the divine. Like I said, hurting people hurt people, and we need a better world. Everything that is on TV, that is, in the entertainment industry, everything that is on the news. I don't even watch the news. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I know it ain't nothing good. This world is a manifestation of our energy collectively. I truly believe that. I believe that this world is fucked up because we're fucked up. And I do believe that, in balance, and that we have good, we have evil, we have these opposites, that balance everything out. You can't have one without the other. So I know that having a world that's completely good is not even realistic, because we have, the law of opposites. You're going to have, you can't have good without evil. How are you going to know what good is without evil? How are you going to know what evil is without good? How are you going to know what hot is without cold? We need these opposites, to experience life. Like, that's part of the experience, having these varying degrees of opposites, and so I understand, that we're going to have, these positive and negative energies, but I see that there is an imbalance, and things need to be balanced out. At least that's how I view things. The world, things have been imbalanced for a long time, and there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of the imbalances that exist in the world, and the way that the world is now, is very low vibrational, and it's because we have a lot of toxicity, a lot of unhealed individuals. And as we heal and develop a relationship with the divine, then the vibration of this planet will increase and heighten, because our vibration has heightened. And so we need healing. The world needs healing. And when we heal, the world will heal. So I really I hope that anyone that is listening to this message will do the healing work. Some people in the spiritual community call it the dark night of the soul, when you just separate yourself from the outside world and you just take some time to be alone and by yourself to heal. to allow yourself to go into your mind and think about the things that have hurt you, the people who have hurt you, the experiences that you have had that have had a negative impact on your life. And you begin to let go of those negative emotions and thoughts towards those things, and understand that, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. What did I learn about myself from these experiences? How can I become the best version of myself through those experiences? How can I heal from this? See, these are things that if you go to the divine, if you truly, truly, truly are genuine and really want to heal, I'm telling you that the divine, all the answers are in you. If you have the divine living in you, the answers are already there. We have a treasure of knowledge and wisdom within us through the divine. And if we just take a moment to go within and ask the divine, or, for those of you who are religious, just ask God, whatever name that you believe is the name of God, okay? The creator of all things, that good, loving, powerful, all-powerful being that is greater than everything that exists. Whatever name you use for that being, that supreme being, call upon it and with a sincere heart, and just be open and honest. You can be vulnerable with God. You may not feel comfortable being vulnerable with other people, and our egos, that's the result of our egos. Our egos don't want to come across as what we deem to be weak. But you can be vulnerable with if you don't want to be vulnerable with a person, if there's nobody that you feel like you can trust to open your heart with it and to share the most deepest parts of you to, go to God. Go to God, call out to God, whatever term that you use for the Most High. Call out to God with sincerity, with a genuine heart, and I promise you the divine will answer. The divine will speak to you, and you can just share, you can cry your heart out to God and say everything that you're feeling. Whatever you have gone through and you don't understand why, and you are just like in so much pain and anguish, share that. Everything that you held inside of you for years, stuff from your childhood, from past relationships, past friendships, whatever it is that is really eating you up inside, that you have pushed down and tried to forget, that you have put a mask on and tried to pretend that you're okay. But deep inside, you know that you are in pain. You're like a child. That inner child is crying out and wants to be heard. We all have that hurting inner child. Everybody has gone through something traumatic or painful in their lives, to in different degrees. Some people have gone through trauma that has been more severe than others. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that your ego may be too pride to admit, but you need to heal from this. Stop hiding from it. Stop brushing it under the rug. Turn your phone off. Tell your friends you ain't going out this weekend. Tell your partner, I need some time to myself. Let your kids know, I'm gonna spend whatever amount of time to myself. Please don't bother me. I need this time to myself. And you go, even if you got to go somewhere, maybe if your house and some people, unfortunately, their house is supposed to be a place of refuge, but sometimes the house is the battlefield for some people. And I apologize, and I am so sorry for those who are experiencing that. But you owe it to yourself. I am so sorry for those who are experiencing that. Okay? If your house is a battlefield instead of a place of refuge, instead of an oasis, you owe it to yourself to go. If you got to go to a hotel room, if you got to pay for a hotel room for the weekend and just have like a time with the divine and spend that weekend in prayer and meditation and just crying, screaming, whatever it is, you got to get it out. And let the divine know, listen, I need you. I need you to heal me. I've been holding this in for so long and I can't take it. I want to be healed. I want to be whole. Help me. And your genuine desire to know the divine and to be healed, or to deepen your relationship with the divine will answer, and the divine will heal you, and the divine will help you. And it is a process. So don't expect overnight. It may happen. For some people, it may be an overnight thing. This is all divine timing. I can't say when the divine time is. But I know, like for me, for example, it has been a process. Years. It didn't happen overnight. But if you be consistent, I promise you it will happen. Drinking alcohol isn't going to heal you. It's just putting a Band-Aid over a gaping wound. Having sex with all these different people is not going to heal you. Again, it's just putting a Band-Aid on it. Using drugs is not going to heal you. All of these things that we try to do to escape the pain, it's not effective. It just causes you to temporarily forget about it. But the pain is still there and the wound is still there. Only God can heal that wound. Only God can make you whole. Going to the club every weekend is not going to get rid of that pain. It's not going to resolve the issues that you have. Becoming a workaholic is not going to resolve the issues that you have. fame, popularity, it's not going to resolve the issues that you have. Accumulating wealth is not going to resolve the issues that you have. These are temporary so-called solutions. Only God can heal you. Only God can make you whole. Only God can remove the pain. Only God can heal you and transform you and make you whole. Please understand that. Now, I said I was going to end this video, but I just let the divine speak through me. So I guess it was a time, because somebody needed to hear that. And I hope whoever needed to hear that truly hears it. God is all you need. God is the only one that can make you whole, that can heal you, that can heal your wounds and remove the pain that you were trying to hide. Okay? So I hope that you will take the time. Like I said, even if you have to go away somewhere by yourself, and just so that you could be alone with God. If you got to sit in go in your car and sit somewhere, you know what I mean? If you got to go to a park and sit somewhere in solitude to be alone so you can talk with the divine, then do that. The divine already know anyway. The divine don't care about you crying. The divine don't see you as being weak. Men, because you're crying. The divine's not going to judge you and condemn you. The divine wants you to come because the divine knows it's the source of healing. It's the source of peace. It's the source of love. It's the source of all the things that you're trying to get outside of it. But it's waiting for you to realize that. So my prayer is that everybody that's listening to this message that does not have a relationship with God will seek God out with a genuine desire to get to know the divine. And those that already have a relationship with the divine, that they will strengthen their relationship with the divine. And those people who are still trying to numb the pain in their life through substances and through external things will stop and go to the divine and say, listen, I need you. I'm tired of getting drunk all the damn time. I'm tired of, taking all these substances and doing all this shit that just, numbs the pain. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to end this message. I was really trying to do a message that is less than an hour. I mean, this is less than an hour, but I don't know. It might be by the time I'm done. It might be an hour by the time I'm done talking. Anyway, I hope that this message has encouraged and inspired someone out there. And I pray that this message finds you well and that you will develop a relationship with the divine and allow the divine to heal you and to make you whole in it. All right, peace.